Welcome to PCGamer Radio, and today I'm going to show you my things that I love to do on Star Citizen. Now, for the record, I'm an original backer. I originally had the Bounty Hunter package, which was, if I think back, it was the one of the RSI fighter ships. I'm terrible with names. You probably shouted at me. The Hornet, there we go. It was one with the gun on the top, so you could 2-mana Hornet. Anyway, I upgraded the package to the Prospector, and then I upgraded from Prospector into the Ares Ion, because laser ships are my bag, baby. And for me, this is probably the best starter ship if you've got the money in your pocket. This is like $250 now. What? In fact, if you go $250 on the Ion, you're going to be getting more, because if you look at all these things that I have here, the soundtrack's a $10 add-on. The map is a $10 add-on, isn't it? Squadron 42, I don't know how much that's going to be as an add-on. I don't think you can add it on yet. But, yeah, I think this is probably worth about $300 all in. I can't wait to do my combat missions in my Ion ship. Anyway, so what are we here today to do? I'm going to tell you about all the great things I've been writing on the forum, so you can understand why I've written these, and maybe you can get on the conversation and maybe get excited about where the project's going. So let's go to it, shall we? We're over here now. Now, we're going to look at mainly the ones I've got, but first Angry Muppet here has put clarification on the ships from the slide from Citcon. We really would be nice to know which ships are coming for 1.0, but they kind of want to keep surprises, don't they, for the Citcons? But, yeah, I think that they're not going to tell us. I think Citcon next year, though, is going to have transport ships, so I think the passenger ships, for example, the Crucible, which is a ship carrier, I think that's going to come at Citcon next year, announced, and also the Genesis, which is the Crusader passenger ship. That looks absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so what have I been talking about in the forums this week? So, MMO crafting precedent study Fallen Earth. Now, this game is getting redone. In fact, they're trying to port it over to another engine. So they said it's going to come out again, but you can still play it on Steam. The servers are up and down though during the day, and there's 2 resets a day, so it's a bit different going in there. But it as the best crafting in any MMO, it is insanely good. It's so good. And basically, if Star Citizen is now looking at MMOs to get the theme park element from them, they really need to get look at the best in class stuff that's out there. And Fallen Earth was simply incredible. Now, I know at Citcon they said that crafting will be timed. This is something that Fallen Earth does. You craft it in real time, so even if you log out at night, it's still, your character's still crafting it. But it was the fact that things were just not simple ingredients. You simply had to find ingredients, yes, and then make the parts for it. Because instead of saying, I need, let's say, 20 steel and 10 copper to make this pistol, which is what Star Citizen is doing, it was more of, let's split those materials down, so and then make it where you've got to make the barrel of the magazine, all the parts of it. I think there was 4 parts to a pistol. If you're building a scope, you had to build the optics for it and the scope to build that. And if you wanted a silencer, you needed the rubber and whatever for it. So you needed the components. So in Star Citizen, you would need these blueprints for these things. But here's the fun element of it is, originally you were maybe doing 200 steel and you're doing 10 copper. You're still using the same materials, but you're building it in parts so it feels more fun. Not only that though, you might have to think about the parts that you're building. So you've got to think, oh, I need this, that, and that. They're the blueprints that I need to get. Right, so you're really getting into the crafting now. And you're really thinking about, right, if I get this barrel really good and this pistol, if I get the barrel sorted out now, and now I can fabricate it. The journey you've been on to craft the item has been more wonderful and intensely fun. Because if you want to do a tier 3 pistol, you need to go down the T3 barrels, you see. You need to go through the paths of these parts. And what the great thing about Fallen Earth was that you didn't just have tier 1 barrel, you also had experimental barrels. So there was like another tier which was almost like a 1.5 tier or a 2.5 tier or a 3.5 tier. There was like this really outsane individual tiers that you could also do it. So, you know, because the time it took to build, talking Star Citizen speech, the time it took to do a tier 2 pistol to a tier 3 pistol was significantly long. It was like maybe 6 weeks. And in that time you could craft the 2.5 gun using the tier 2 experimental blueprints. That would then bridge that gap so you didn't feel like you was at this tier 2 level. And that was wonderful. It was so satisfying to do. They did it with this whole mechanic of building it into components and then building it into the final product was genius, because you could offer these experimental materials to make it this kind of middle tier. It was genius, and this is why out of all the MMOs I've played, this was so memorable. And like Star Citizen is going to have a largely player-based economy, that is exactly what Fallen Earth is. Alright, let's go on to the next, shall we? Now, if you go to the community page on the forums here, it's just above Spectrum on the things. You can go to community, I think it is, and you can look at the videos the community are doing. The machinima videos are really good. Now, they've obviously filmed these in-game. If you're filming your ship, there is the Mako ship that you can zoom in and do film nicely with that. But if you're planet side or on a spaceship, you really would be nice to see a video camera like you can see here. And if you used it in-game, you got the zoom functions that you got on the Mako ship. So it'd be a nice item to see in the game, because if you're running through a city and you see someone filming a machinima video, it's like, well, hey, fantastic. Because what I love about roleplay servers is on a roleplay server that I always play on, World of Warcraft, you often see the roleplayers doing stuff in-game, which is completely something you wouldn't see outside of a roleplay server. And to see a machinima person filming is one of these moments where you see part of the community doing gameplay that is creating their own movie in the game, machinima. So yeah, this would be a great asset to put in there and put the zoom function in and stuff like that. Don't care if it's post 1.0, but something I think I would love to see, and it would be a great tool for all those machinima video directors out there also. Let's go to the next, shall we? This is a little bit coming from the crafting precedent study, talking about building ships and that the ships should require more things. And if you look here, I think this is coming from, I just pulled this up here just to show you complexity of things like that, but essentially, instead of just building a ship, you've just got to build some parts for it. Like, these are a little bit generic, and this will stop people just getting a Idris blueprint and crafting an Idris out of components. That just sounds daft as a brush, when really they should really be an expert at shipbuilding and have all these things researched. So if you want to build something with large engines, it requires you to have T3 medium engines. And if you want to do the medium engine T3, the medium engine might need a small engine T3. Something like this. Also, some ships might require a T5 of these blueprints because they are insanely good in their class. Like an Idris is such a good battleship, or whatever class it is, just such a good gun, isn't it? That the parts might need tier 5 research from the tech level below it. So this is what I think it should be. Because it makes sense that one person can't create a capital ship. It makes more sense if you've got one person specializing in weapons that can do medium weapons and large weapons and capital weapons. There's this aspect of specialization that you might need to do these things. So this is to make it more interesting and just get rid of this. I don't need the lower blueprints, I just need to buy the big blueprint, because no, it should have a path, a tech tree you must go through to unlock the crafting ability of these big ships. That's what I believe. So yeah, don't make the crafting one blueprint to craft. This is for ships, what I'm talking about here, and obviously up here, weapons and armor. Alright. Now the next thing I'm talking about is there's lots of ships that people are complaining about because they've been nerfed, and the Ares Ion is just one of those ships. Now we know when 4.0 comes out and engineering comes out, there's going to be a big change to how ships get damaged, and of course this is maybe when the ships might get updated. However, I am asking, is it an intended feature to not bring updates out because you're happy with them internal and they're now gold for 1.0, meaning it's all in place, we don't need to give it to the PU to test, which is an alpha, we'll leave it for 1.0, because a lot of MMOs in beta, not alpha, in beta, only throw the beta testers what need testing. And if they're happy with whatever they have, are they holding it back for 1.0? This would be interesting to see if they are doing this, because a lot of people are wondering, where's bounty hunting V3? Well, maybe they've internally done it and it's gold and ready for 1.0. So that when 1.0 comes out, you're going to see so much. Because I think when it comes to when they ever put schematics and building in the game, you're not going to see the 1,000 schematics. No way. They're just going to give you a few to test, is what I think. Because they've got to hold stuff back for the big 1.0 release, in my opinion. Alright. Now, I'm asking, is there going to be a roleplay server? Now, we don't know if the technology is going to be a mega server, and the shards represent clusters of people. Right? This works in World of Warcraft, for example. If you walk into a city that's in an old expansion, if they only look at people on your server, then you could be walking around on your own. But if they shard everybody together, you might see somebody else walking around. They might not be from your server, but it's somebody walking around, and it helps populate those dead zones in the game. So it's going to be really good for that. But if you've got a massive Zerg, let's say 1,000 people, if servers can hold it, how's that going to hold on a mega server? Like, literally, I should be able to see that if it's a mega server. But if they're sharding it off, like World of Warcraft, you wouldn't necessarily see it. But anyway, that needs to be found out what the plan is. But what I'm specifically asking is a roleplay specific server, because one of the beautiful things about the roleplay servers is the chat, right? The city chat, the area chat, the trade chat. On a roleplay server, you don't get any Earth news, shall we say? Earth specific news. One of these is Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, election, Israel, war with Ukraine. Like, I don't want to hear that stuff. I'm coming into this game for escapism, thank you very much. And I certainly don't want to hear about how many pints of beer you've drank that night. Like, that should not be in the chat. Like, if you go to a World of Warcraft server that's not roleplay, most people turn it off. But why should you turn it off? There is genuine people looking for stuff in the city chat. On a roleplay server, a lot of people are looking for crafters, and I'm a craftaholic. I love crafting, and I help people make stuff. That's a thing. So you can't simply turn it off. You need you need an aspect where if people want to talk about Earth, they can go to the thing, right? And for me, the only way of doing it is having a roleplay specific server. I don't know how they're going to address this, but come on, Star Citizen is so far in the future. There's 12 years of lore. There's no reason why you should be talking about Earth news. You're coming in the game for escapism. Whatever. Alright, next question. Is the Squadron 42 player character not used in the PU? There's this weird thing. People keep saying it. I've heard it from 3 different content creators, that when you play Star Citizen, the character you play at the beginning will not be you cannot customize them, but later in the story you can. But what? What do you mean you can? Does your character die and you come back as a sibling? Like, what is the reason for it? Like, we don't know, do we? It's still bonkers that you can't just use the character customizer at the beginning of the game. I don't know. I just think it is weird. Because when you play Mass Effect, you're in the character creator even before the game starts, right? So that's what they should do. It's just weird. Right, next one. This actually comes from Factorio, if you ever played Factorio. An insanely incredible game. And in fact, I'm still doing a roleplay session on my channel. I'm resurrecting it. The videos are still there. You'll see how intense Factorio can go in the late game. Anyway, so how can this affect Star Citizen? Well, if you're building one of these giant bases and you've got factories running and mines blurring away and pollution going everywhere, this is surely going to attract predators, like in Factorio. See these red things on the radar? That is not you. It's the aliens. And these population centers that are here, they get bigger over time. And it's one of the reasons why at your base you need to put scanners up so you can detect what's coming on the periphery of your building. Like you can see. In fact, this is an example I got from YouTube. This is not my own base. In fact, if this is my base, I would 100% have all this area here scanned, live scanning, so they can't creep up on you, because people here near this lake, they can cut through here and go straight into your main base and completely blitz it up. So this is what I'm saying. Force people to put radars up so they can keep an eye on what's happening, because the radars should also let you detect not only if animals are coming, but if there's a build-up of soldiers that are going to attack your base. You should be able to get some kind of warning that they're coming, and this means make people build radars. Make sure the animals get attracted to buildings that are noisy or pollution is coming from them. And the predators will deliberately go and destroy them. Radar should also be able to pick up people. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And this could be on a lawful system where animals still could come. You know, UAE might be protecting the base, but if the animals are there, they might not want to cull them down. That could be a mission for you to do it. But if you don't do it, they're going to come in, and UEC might not be able to get there on time, and they might destroy one of your power units or something like that, and you might have to fix the wall and stuff, so it can kind of keep you on your toes, even if you're on a safe, lawful planet. What's next? Oh, it's a golden one, this, isn't it? A car boot sale for selling wares. Yeah. Can you imagine once a month in Star Citizen on a planet, everybody goes down and there's a whole load of players with tables that they're selling stuff. Stuff they've crafted and stuff. Maybe stuff that they don't want. So you've just got this massive amount of walking around and people selling stuff. I think it was a fantastic social event. I love it. I love it. This is a funny question. Server meshing is the last technology. Should the game go dark? Meaning, don't bring anything into Star Citizen. Like, just put the dev team on 1.0. Don't put the dev team on the PU. Just sit the PU at 4.0, and then PU development goes dark until 1.0 comes out. That's what I'm seriously asking here. If they want to speed it up, if they want 1.0 out when Squadron 42 comes out, this is the best thing they can do to speed it up. Is just leave 4.0 as the last update. It's probably not going to be the last update. we have the roadmap update tomorrow. That might completely say that stuff is coming. Like, it might give us the 4.1 or something like that. But you know, I think it should stay at 4. Questions on upgrading blueprints for ships. Right, let me just talk this journey out, because when you type this out, so many people in the chat have no idea what you're talking about, and they comment anyway. So what am I saying? Okay, you've bought a ship in the pledge store, or it could be in the game. I've got my Ares Ion. It's a T1 ship. I've now got the blueprint for the Ion, and I've upgraded it to T2. Are you with me? Will this blueprint upgrade my T1 ship? Because at the minute we've got the fabricating machine that makes a ship. Could you park your ship in there and then upgrade it? Because otherwise you're just going to build one. You're going to build a T2 ship and you've got a T1 and a T2. That'd be insane. So I hope that is what the plan is. We just don't know. But that's what I'm trying to get at here. I also don't like the fact that a T5, someone can just come over with credits and buy a T5 ship. Because if they've got to park their ship in someone's whatnot, well, they've got to supply, I bet, well, they've still got to supply all the goods and stuff like that then if they're going to upgrade their ship. But if they want to buy a ship straight out, That could be really, really buy to win in it, because you're going to be able to buy UAC in the game, and I just don't like the fact that I don't like that. If you can just buy a T5 ship in the game, I don't like that. It should only be craftable. The only ships you can buy in the game should be T1. And you find someone that's going to upgrade it for you. That's how it should be. Alright. Now there's part of the community talking about blueprints that need to be sold, that you can sell them. Don't like this. Don't like that idea. Blueprints, if there's 1,000 in them, that's like, ooh, I'm going to try and collect all of them. That's the alcoholic inside of me. I want to collect all of them. Now, they said when you pick a blueprint up, it's going to transfer to your character. Right? Some people are saying, what if you're running the same area and you get the same blueprint? No, I mean, there is MMOs that, let's say, you pick a unique item up, you're not going to get another one. If they have that, maybe you won't come into this. You should not be able to see a schematic that you've already picked up. Essentially, there we go. That means there's no nonsense of this idea of tradable. And there's this insane thing that some people are saying, like Salty Mike, that you should be able to get blueprints that have a limited run on them. No. If you want a blueprint, the only way should be to find it in the world, because that is the game behind a blueprint. They've not talked about an auction house, have they? It's coming. I really feel like the auction house is coming. But god damn it, do not put blueprints there. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. About this blueprints, right? In World of Warcraft, in the War Within, when you do fishing, your fishing can get to 300. In the final zone, Ashkaret, in order to catch a fish there, your fishing needs to be 400. Huh? How the hell do you catch a fish in Ashkaret? Well, ladies and gentlemen, on a Saturday there is a fishing tournament which you can get a special currency, and from the guy that gives you the mission for the day, for the weekly event, well, it's a Saturday event, he sells a recipe. And it's a piece of food that, drum roll please, gives you 100 fishing. So this potentially unlocks fishing in Ashkaret for any person who hasn't got even any fishing equipment. But here it is, drum roll please. You can't make that food for anybody. Just yourself. I love it! Yeah. Post it in chat. Where'd you get that recipe from? Ah, you've got to do fishing tournament. Yeah. Unlock it. Like all the other fishing equipment that you get in the game. Through gameplay. Not from going to the auction and buying it. You know. Alright. Now, here's an example of World of Warcraft, the crafting orders. And these are NPCs asking you to build them stuff. This is a good way because when you do these missions, they can give you stuff that you can put back into crafting. And if you... What I'm trying to say is, when at Citcon, when they said build 100 pistols to get tier 2 unlocked. Well, maybe that's going to take forever. Or maybe you've got these NPCs wanting these things and you can sell them to them. So instead of just banging out 100 pistols, you can actually send these to NPCs. Because that way you're getting more gameplay, more interaction with the world, and it's making it easier. In fact, instead of banging out 100 pistols, one of the requirements should be build 100 pistols and sell X amount of these to NPCs. Something like this. So it pushes that gameplay loop. And there should be this idea. They have said that NPCs could come to your shop and buy things from you. But if you're like right at the start of the game, you want to upgrade a schematic to or a blueprint to tier 2, unless you've got the car boot sale, how's the NPC going to come and buy stuff? So yeah, hopefully there is some kind of place NPCs put orders up, and these orders are character specific so that you can help them with the crafting. Next thing on my mind, we want to see a progress tracker to see how close we are to Star Citizen 1.0. Yes. Because if they say bounty hunting is 100% complete and it's not in the PU, but it's ready for 1.0, then it tells people we're holding it back. You know? Alpha is for testing, 1.0 is the game. That's what they need to do. But everyone's so exciting. I just want to know how far they are with the storyline for 1.0, how long the Science Guild, how their mission's going, the Sports Guild especially. That's probably going to be the one out of all of them that needs testing, is Sports Guild. Transport Guild is almost 100% done, probably. So, and then have an overall goal so people can see, like, oh, we're 51% towards Star Citizen 1.0. Oh my god, it's so cool, we're getting closer. And so that's what I'd like to see on the roadmap update, is kind of a progress tracker for 1.0 where we can see what's going on like this. This would be insanely good. Alright, the next thing on my mind. Ship upgrade schematics. Yeah, they didn't talk about ship upgrades, did they? Alright. Number 1. As many stats are based on ship modules. Yeah, power plant, for example. How will the ship improve from each tier? What kind of things are we expecting to upgrade? Because the Ares Ion has a fixed size 7 weapon. T0, T1, whatever, you know, can that be upgraded? So really, I just want to know what's more. And number 2, will the ship look different? Because if I build an upgrade to a ship, let's say it's my Ion and it's T5, that should look a little different if it's been upgraded. Especially if the gun gets a little bit of, you know, something nice. And then number 3, which I've put in another question, is what's going to happen when you upgrade. Because potentially, if you do upgrade to a T2 ship, that still includes your warranty. Doesn't it? Alright, I think that's it. They're all my questions that's come up since Citcon. Yep, you can find me in Spectrum with the name Lipstickpaddy, of course. Find all my things that I've been talking about, all this good stuff. So yeah, what do you think of these questions? If you've got any more issues, get them in the bloody forums. You've noticed that a lot of these are specifically asking the devs up here. This is for a dev, not for you down here to throw your poo-poo in. This is for a dev. It's not for you. Backers! Go away, backers. I don't know why they let people comment on this if it's for the devs. Oh, it's just a game idea. Maybe you've got an idea. Put in the game idea forum. And let's keep things positive towards moulding this game and trying to help the devs think out of the box again when it comes to what they're doing, because once 1.0 is out, there's no changing the game. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Lipstickpaddy. This is PCGamer Radio. You take care. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. All that good stuff. You take care. Stay safe. And bye-bye for now.